What's up, guys? It's DJ back with Jesse, my best friend, as we like to say.
Now,
Now, um, today we got a video where we're gonna give 5 points each, saying something about investing with Pokemon, as in what you could invest in right now and what you could do in regards to investing in Pokemon. And these are just our ideas and what we would do, and probably things we invest in or things that we're currently doing. They're not necessarily things that you have to do right now, but like these are just our points of view and things that we might do. So, anything you want to add, Jesse, before we get started? I guess.
what was that? Sorry.
Is there anything that you want to say before we get started?
Sorry, the internet cut out briefly.
Okay.
No, not really. Just yeah, these are just our opinions. This is what I believe. Well, what we believe will be, if you were to invest right now, some of the best investments you could do.
Yep.
And yeah, that's basically what I think we're going over today. Not quite sure. You told me you were going over something, similar, but a little bit.
A little bit uh, off track, but it's on track, but it's off track at the same time. But
Okay.
anyway, maybe you start off, and then we'll take turns as we always do.
Okay, sure. All right. So I'll just go onto my phone quickly. Got my notes. All right. So many of you have already, like in previous videos that you've watched of DJs, you've probably heard me talking about Shining Legends. So it's obvious that Shining Legends was to be somewhere on my list. So I thought I'd get it out of the way quickly and just say, yeah, Shining Legends, PSA 10s, and sealed product, even PSA 9s if you can't afford the 10s. They in the last, I would say, month or so have really just gone crazy in price. People want them. I see people wanting them constantly. And it's just, I believe that the price is just going to keep going up. If you did want to get, yourself, your hands on some Shining Legends, then I think now is the time, as good as any other time, because they're just going to keep going up in price. So yeah, the sealed product is going up in price. The PSA 10s are going up in price. The demand is going up. So I personally believe that Shining Legends is a very good investment. And as we discussed, DJ and myself discussed in a previous video, is that they are the first official Shining Pokemon since Neo.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Neo Destiny. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's my first point. Don't need it. We've already brushed on Shining Legends a lot, so I don't need to go into great details. So yeah, I guess it's your point now.
All right, cool. So as you were saying before, the approach I took with this was some of these things. Like I've got probably one item here that you could probably invest in, and the other things are things that you could actually just do to invest in Pokemon. So one of them, my first point I'm going to make is pre-ordering when it comes to new products instead of just buying when it's already released. Because, well, to be honest, I never pre-ordered until 6 months ago, something like that. I never pre-ordered anything, even like PlayStations and Xboxes and all that stuff. I never pre-ordered, but I just realized, these prices for pre-orders are usually the cheapest that you're going to get in regards to retail. I know they're not maybe like discounted to like $10 or something like that, but if you're a person that invests in Pokemon a lot and you buy a lot of bulk, you could save yourself quite a lot of money if you're buying, if you're saving $5 each ETB or booster box or pack that you're buying, and if you're planning to hold those Hidden Fates tins or whatever like that. The other risk with that though is if it turns out a bit of a flop, and you put all that money in without really knowing, because you pre-ordered all that and you don't know how well that set's going to do. I'd say the chances are you're going to buy that anyway. So it was just like you pre-ordered it, you bought it cheaper, so you're running a bit of a risk, but it's always a risk anyway. That's really my first point. Pre-orders. If you're investing in modern specifically, obviously you can't do that with vintage anymore or anything like that. But if you're investing right now in booster boxes, that's what a lot of people say now. Buy booster boxes. They generally go up in price. I would just say, instead of waiting till it's already out, just pre-order it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. 100%. That's a really good point. So if you want something, You know, don't wait. Just pre-order it, grab it. You know, I'm not a big fan of pre-ordering in general, but with Pokemon, it's if you want something for the best price possible, it's definitely a must to pre-order. So yeah, it's a really good point. All right. So I'll move on to my second point. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to add to your previous point?
No, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Very common thing to do, but I think some people are scared of doing it. And like you said, you're not really a fan. And I think some people have said they're not really fans of it. But then sometimes you miss out if there's not enough stock. But it really depends. Like if you can.
Well, now that you say that, it's funny because I had people saying they're not going to pre-order Champions Path. They don't like pre-ordering. They're not going to pre-order it. You know, blah 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 blah. But then all of a sudden, the Charizards get announced, and they're scrambling to try and get themselves the best possible price on a pre-order. And it's like, dude, I told you there's going to be a Charizard. Pre-order that stuff. You know, pre-order that set if you want it. But no one listened. So yeah, definitely a good point. Again, pre-order if you know, even if you're unsure, especially if you go through somewhere like in Australia, like EB Games or Zing, you can cancel and get your money back.
Sure.
So it's really a win-win situation. You get something basically put on hold for you. If you're not happy with it, turns out you don't want it, you can just cancel your order and get your money back. All right. So my second point. So the second product I think you can invest in now, if you have a bit of extra capital, and you want to put your money into something that you don't, think that probably won't crash, is a Diamond and Pearl and Platinum era boosters product, booster boxes, so on and so on. This era is slowly starting to grow in popularity and demand. Prices, just like, everything else in the last 6 months, but prices have really gone up, but they haven't boomed, if I can say. Yeah. Exactly. So, like, for example, unlike anything wotc, or anything even, like Deoxys or like even Call of Legends, this sort of era packs hasn't really boomed yet. So you can still get your hands, especially if you live in the US, you can still get your hands on these sort of packs and boosters from the Diamond and Pearl and Platinum era for a relatively decent price. And if you do have a bit more capital, you can get your hands on a booster box still for a relatively, it's a little bit more pricey, as any booster box, before XY, but you can get your hands on them for fairly, much cheaper than a lot of other product that is from that era. So I think Diamond and Pearl and Platinum in particular has a lot of room to grow. I think people are only starting to notice now. So if you have the extra capital and if you want something to put your money into, I think, in my humble opinion, I think Diamond and Pearl is up there with one of the good investments at the moment. Yeah.
I'll be honest and say I don't really know much about Diamond and Pearl stuff, but do you know much of like what are the chase cards? Give some examples of some chase cards from those kind of era sets. Because
so there's Diamond and Pearl. So the sets are Diamond and Pearl base. I don't know in which order they go, but there's Majestic Dawn, there's Mysterious Treasures.
I do have some packs, but I don't know the cards that are in it.
Yeah, I honestly I know Majestic Dawn has a lot of chase cards in it. Actually, Majestic Dawn is probably the most sought after Diamond and Pearl era sort of set or booster box. Majestic Dawn and Mysterious Treasures, and then there's also Diamond and Pearl base. I'm forgetting the other two, but then there's like Platinum as well. Like Platinum has a lot of chase cards too. So you got like your Platinum Arceus, you got your Platinum Rising Rivals, you got your Platinum Supreme Victors. Like there's
level X cards. And
so they have the level X cards. Yeah, they all have the level X cards. Diamond and Pearl also has EX cards, I think.
I think so too. They're not the ones with the levels on the Pokemon, is it? Or there might.
I tend to mix up Platinum and Diamond and Pearl, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Platinum has the level X cards. Diamond and Pearl has the EX cards. I'm pretty sure. But I could be wrong. But yeah, so but besides that, especially Platinum as well. Like for example, like Supreme Victors is already crazily in demand because it's got that the Charizard, of course. Yeah, the artwork especially. Yeah, that's another good point. Diamond era and Platinum era had such nice artwork. It's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. And there's a lot of chase cards in there. And I think for the chase cards that they, Diamond and Pearl has level X too.
They both have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Diamond and Pearl has. I was just remembering like a Leafeon level X that was sold on eBay in like a PSA 10 for like, I think it was coupled with another card for like $11,000 just recently.
11,000.
Yeah, because the pops are so low.
Wow.
like insanely low. And that was them from Majestic Dawn. And I actually had a friend wanting about to buy all the PSA 9 level X's from Majestic Dawn. So I'm pretty sure they're level X's too. But yeah, so for that, like think about that. So these two level X cards coupled together, it was a Leafeon and something else. I'm fairly certain just went for like $11,000 Australian. Yet you can pick up a booster box for about $5,000 Australian.
What about the booster?
So
How much are the packs worth?
like Majestic Dawn's probably, I think they're about $80 a pack. So it just doesn't add up. Like, you know, these two
Yeah,
cards
you
got
can
for 11.
buy a pack $80 and pull that $11,000 card and just sell it.
Mm.
But I don't know. That's all chances, obviously, as well. So, wow. All right, cool. Very good point
Yeah,
there.
it's, mm.
What do I have next? I think, all right, the next one I have very similar to my other one is something that I think we just kind of brush upon. We just don't really think of, but we might do by accident, and some don't. Some, especially the new guys that come into this hobby and they're just like, oh, let's just go buy this because it looks like this is what you should go for. So this point that I'm going to make is actually invest in time with in regards to research, in regards to just engaging in the hobby in general. So, you know, I'm sure Jesse and I are very similar with this. We have Instagram accounts, we got Facebook, like different groups, so many different groups out there. And obviously YouTube, watching YouTube, talking to other people in the hobby, discussions and stuff like that, because that's where you get a lot of knowledge in regards to just what should you buy, or maybe if you're not sure about something, you can ask a question and someone can help you out. Because we already know that this hobby is like everybody kind of helps everybody else, you know, like for free.
Yeah.
It's a very welcoming kind of community.
There's a lot of people willing to help if you just ask.
Yeah. And if you are just like you know, you're planning on investing and stuff, this is where you get the feel for the market, because that is pretty much the marketplace, like on Facebook. And you learn like from people, from Jesse, like, you know, he buys and sells stuff. And because he's here as well, he's sharing a bit of his knowledge. You can see like what does a buyer think and what does a seller think, and what you should do as a seller and what you shouldn't do, you know, and questions you should ask just in general. So just taking the time, every single day, I'm pretty much just always looking at certain things. I'm sure Jesse's looking at deals on eBay all the time, just making sure, you know,
Constantly.
what are prices going for now? And
exactly, but it's not just like the deals that I'm looking for. Like, hopefully, I'm going to snipe a deal and get something super cheap as a like newly listed buy it now. It's also research. You know, I'm also going into sold listings from that day or week, and I'm seeing what things sold for. Okay, this is sold for a lot more than, you know, than what it was worth 2 weeks ago. You know, like one sold for 2 weeks ago for 300. Now this sold for 400. But you also have to be careful with saying that is the bids that have ended, like shield bids.
Oh, of course.
You know, so a buyer shields their own basically listing, gets like a friend or an alternate account and bids it up, so they don't have to sell for a certain amount if they don't want to, and it shows a higher sold price.
I think that's happening.
You have to be careful of that.
Booster box right now. Like I saw a few videos, something about the base set booster box, unlimited, going. Someone's shield bidding, or someone's raising that price to like $18,000. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, they're worth about 20,000 Australian now.
Oh, okay.
Like I know of recently a few people that have paid that much to get them, but it's I can't even, that makes me sick. I don't even want to talk about that. But yeah, that's an awesome point. Very good point. Constantly be scouting, constantly be researching.
I know it's not a product, guys. I know you guys probably want, what's the actual product you want to invest in? But sometimes
it's like a good cop, bad cop here. I'm giving them the products. You're giving the investing advice, or the, you know, the other side to it, which is the advice.
It's a Tag Team GX video.
It is, yeah. Don't worry about buying tag team boxes. You got us right here. But yeah, so that's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Your turn.
Okay. All right. Let me get into my device. All right. So this is very, very opinion. I mean, all of this is opinion driven, but this is definitely very opinion driven. This is just kind of my tactic, what I'm doing in relation to these products that I'm about to talk about, or this product I'm about to talk about. And that is PSA 10 modern Charizards. Okay. I'm sure a lot of people are doing that already, but for those of you that don't realize, there's still modern Charizards being made in just the normal standard cards, so not GX or VMAX or there's still Charizards out there. For example, I know DJ likes Dragon Majesty, and I think it's fine. There's a Charizard in Dragon Majesty, right? And this is a perfect little example of why I believe, even though your return might not be as quick or insane, but I believe investing in the PSA 10 modern Charizard, just the standard holo cards, is a good investment because, for example, the Dragon Majesty Charizard, so let's go back 3 months. You could pick it up for $5 raw easily. Any day of the week, I saw him being listed for $5 raw. 3 months later, you can't pick him up under $20 raw. Okay, and that's only in a matter of 3 months. I picked up a PSA 10, which I still have right here with me. So I picked up a PSA 10, just a standard holo, Dragon Majesty Charizard it was like $60 3 months ago. Or 4 months ago, about 4 months ago, it was like $60. It was just newly listed on eBay. I put it in my watch list. It sat there for ages. Decided to buy it like 3 days later. I went, what is $60? Why the hell not? I put it into my collection, 3 months later, 4 months later, you can't find this card for under $250 in a 10 anymore. And that's only in 3 months. So yeah, okay, it's not a crazy, return on investment, but it's still an investment in itself, and it's a cheap investment. So
you still got profit on it. Yeah.
Exactly. So if I wanted to sell that now, I can make profit on, which I don't want to sell it. I'll probably just sit on this one because I love, this is like one of the first PSA 10 Charizards I ever owned. I think it still is only my PSA. Yeah. Only PSA 10 Charizard in my collection, but so I think, and there's a lot out there. So Team Up has a couple of Charizards too. So, so you can get the cracked dice, which I've got right here. I don't have it in a 10 because I couldn't find it. And now the prices are I'm not willing to spend that much for my collection because they're about $400 in a 10 now, but that's the cracked dice Charizard right there from Team Up. And I bought that in a 9 once again, probably about 3-4 months ago for $60. And in a 9, they're worth, close to $150 now. So, and they're very, very desired in a 10. So in a 10, these are about $400 now. If you can find one, 350 to 400, because they're very desired. Like, look how awesome that is.
Yeah, those look
and it's just, exactly. And it's just a standard Charizard. And it's also from a set, which Team Up, which is out of print and, very sought after. But it's, it's just a standard Charizard. It's not even a PSA 10 and I can already make money on it. So I think, so I might change a little bit and say even 9s, even if you can't afford the 10, just invest in the 9s because they're cheap right now. And Charizards always go up. We look at it now and be like, oh, but, that's a Charizard in the 10. It's worth $250. But in 10 years' time, it might be worth $1,000. And for for a $250 investment, if you can afford it, that's not a bad return on investment in 10 years.
It's funny how you brought up that the return on investment isn't much like before, like, how you said you bought it for $60, it's $250. So it's not a huge return of investment. But imagine if you bought if you were like a bulk buyer, you bought like 10 of them or 20 of them.
Exactly. Yes.
One,
and it does become huge.
It adds up. Yeah. Still great.
And then you're looking at, exactly. And that's what it is, and, the pop isn't incredibly low. For example, let's just use the Dragon Majesty Charizard as an example. The pop's not very low. Like, I think it's like a 500 pop, but it's a Charizard and it's a 10.
There's more than 500 people in the world that want.
Exactly. There's probably more than 500 people just in a square kilometer of me that collect Pokemon, but we're saying that, it's a Charizard, it's a 10, $60 was nothing, it was just, if you're a Pokemon collector, $60 isn't that much to put down on something. And
booster box, it's cheaper. It's cheaper
than a booster box, cheaper than some raw cards.
Yeah.
And so so I just went boom, bought it, and there we go. I've already got it. Just sat there in my collection. I wasn't missing the $60, and it's worth. I can sell it for $250 now if I like. And even like we're saying that, even buying the modern Charizard raw cards, that's a good investment too. Because as I said, I remember seeing the Dragon Majesty Charizard for $5. And then I was looking, I think about a week ago, and I was just saying, I might check out what their raw prices are. And they're going for like $25. And I was like, whoa, when did this happen? I saw hundreds listed on eBay for like $5. Now they're like $25 a pop. And when did this happen? So think about it. If you spent $500, you got 100 of them. Now they're worth $25 a pop. It might take you a little bit to sell, but that's $2,500 on a $500 investment. That's a huge return on investment in 3 months. So
true. Very true. Yeah, I like that. Right. Very cool. I think that's going to bring me to my next point, actually, is grade your cards if you have them, and instead of already buying graded cards. um, I mean, you can do either, but you can do that whole. If you buy a graded card, it's technically safer. You're getting the 10. It's already graded. You save the hassle and stuff, but you're obviously paying already that premium, like a $500 PSA card. With that $500, you can grade. How much does it cost to grade a card? $20 in
20
Australia.
bucks, 20 bucks. Yeah.
25 bucks. Even
Depending
if,
on the card, but yeah, the
depending on
average
the
amount
card.
is 20 bucks.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if it was like, let's just say it's $50, like over exaggerating, right? Each card. You can grade 10 cards for that price. 10 cards. And if they were worth, approximate value after grading, $100 each, you minus your costs, you're gonna, it's quite a good like return. Like that's what
And a lot of people do it. A lot of people do.
do it. A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people do it.
Um,
I think the only issue right now with that, which it's if you have the time to wait, it's amazing to do.
the
is the
delay
wait time,
can I talk about,
which
yeah?
I'm sure you're going to mention. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Of course. But I find a lot of this thing is all time. I mean, if you're not flipping, right, it's all like time based, and it's all because a lot of us are collectors first more than anything. And like part of that comes with patience. And, the whole grading scene now is so big. It's just like, everyone's grading. So, why not just join join that bandwagon? But at the same time, like you said, with those Charizards, those raw Charizards, if you bought them even now at those prices, $25 each, and then you grade them another $25, you're paying like $50 all up, including grading.
exactly.
And if it grades high enough, like you said, it could be $250. So you're still making like another $200 on top of what you paid for. So if you're going to take that route, like depending
Exactly. Yeah,
on time,
that's a good point. Yeah. So
yeah.
like, as DJ said, yeah, you could have bought the raw cards for $5, sent them away for grading, and by the time they come back, the PSA 10s would have, or even the 9s would have tripled in price. So that's a good way to do it if you can
If they grade high, but I'm
afford it,
thinking
and
like,
if they're going to grade high enough. Yeah.
yeah, if they are modern cards that you're that you're grading, like you said with the Charizard, those are modern. A lot of them are packed fresh, or just like straight into a sleeve, because everyone's kind of just aware of this now. Not like with the wotc stuff. People put them in rubber bands back in the day, and they just put it in their pockets.
Put them in
Like,
Ziploc bags. Yeah.
yeah, there was So nowadays, if it's a modern card, I find that most modern cards are generally kept well protected.
I agree. Generally, yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're a pack opener like myself, like back in the day, like I got binders full of cards that I could potentially just pull out a lot of all the Charizards, like you said, or just a lot of the cards, like starter cards, or good Pokemon cards, and then just send them off to get graded. And
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, your turn.
Alrighty, let's see what I've got here. All right, so my second last point, getting towards the end, is so we mentioned before Diamond and Pearl and Platinum era. I'm going to mention boosted, like product again from a similar era, and that's Black and White. As I've mentioned in a previous video, actually, is I was not so much anymore, but I was a huge dealer in Black and White. Right, I'd be able to find products easy
right now.
So, what's that?
You are wearing black and white right now.
That's true. So I'm repping the black and white. No racism here, and so black and white product is still relatively affordable, but the demand is going higher and higher and higher. Right. So, for example, even going back 3 months ago, I saw a couple of black and white boxes, like fairly sought after boxes now. For example, Dragons Exalted, Legendary Treasures, and Next Destinies listed on eBay for like $1,500 or $1,400, which at the time I was like, oh, I don't know, like, are they going to go up? But now, yeah, like the proof is in the pudding. Like you can't find any black and white box, under $2,000 anymore. You just won't find it. Okay. Which, you go, oh, $2,000 Australian for a box. And you're like, oh, but they're going up and up and up. Like they just keep going up and up because I think we mentioned in the previous video, black and white era was dead. Not many collectors were in it. So the product was very limited, and even now it's even more limited. So Plasma Storm is the big one, as everyone knows. But good luck getting your hands on that. Let alone if you can find it, you're going to be paying. You're going to be paying a lot.
I rarely see Plasma Storm out there with booster boxes and stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
Legendary Treasures is one that's really sought after, but the booster box, I have seen more booster boxes of those in circulation. But
Yeah, me too. Like, I think the least you see of, is the ones from the Plasma era.
yeah,
So you hardly ever see Plasma Freeze. Plasma Blast. You don't really see Plasma Freeze, and you never see Plasma Storm. Like, I remember buying Plasma Storm in the store back in 2013, walking into a local game shop and paying $140 for a box. And now it's like one recently sold for $5,000 Australian. So it's just like, man, like Plasma Storm is so in demand. It's not even funny. Okay, so, but I'm not saying go out and get a Plasma Storm box unless you can afford it. I think it's a very, very good investment. Yeah, look at that. It's $100, $200 pack, 200, and then 300, and then he's got the art set. 400. Plasma Storm's good. Open him. Pull the Charizard. Go on. Don't be scared.
No. Mine.
Plasma Storm's probably the best black and white set, only because the two secret rares, the Charizard and the Blastoise.
As well, yeah.
But so I think anything black and white, whether it's the tins, whether it's, I don't know, something like
Like that purchase you made, I think was it blisters? Yeah, something like that.
I got a lot of blisters too, but like something like that, even like just a box, I think there's like 3 black and white packs here from different sets. But even stuff like that, you can still pick up these sort of things. Like I think I picked up this for like nothing, like hardly anything. It was just on eBay. I just went, oh, it's black and white, I'll buy it. So
nothing.
You can pick up this, like I think it was like $120, so you can pick up that kind of stuff for like nothing. Where like like the boxes a little bit are more expensive, but like I think a very good investment would be black and white sets that quite haven't gotten to that, to like, I don't know, like a Plasma Storm level yet, or even like a Legendary Treasures level yet. I think this sort of boxes and stuff like that are very good investments in the black and white era. But I think all products are very good investments. And I think in the next 10 years, black and white will be probably one of the most sought after sets, just kind of errors, just because the print run was so low. Like it was incredibly low, like, and I think in 10 years time, that will really start to shine through as to just how low the print run was. And yeah, collectors want to get their hands on it and they won't be able to, but I think that's the same for every era after wotc, a lot of that's already priced out though, priced most people out of the market. Like, where are you going to find a Deoxys box for $2,000? Or where are you going to find a Call of Legends box, But yeah, so I think black and white, any product from there, like sealed product, is a very, very good investment.
I do like that. Black and white. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like Skyridge. You know how Skyridge was like dead time, but also the runs were so low. And now that, Skyridge booster box is like 25,000, something like that, or
it's mental. I'm telling you, like black and white is going to be the black sheep of the like the late 2010 early 2010 sort of era. It's going to be the black sheep. Like it's just going to, like, excuse the pun, but it's going to, yeah.
The other thing, I really think the kids from that era, they haven't grown up yet, have they? Or like they're maybe
not really. Like maybe they, early high school years, so, but once they are complete, like to me, black and white is nostalgic as well. Okay. So I could be a little bit biased here because black and white is slightly nostalgic to me. Like it's not what I grew up with, but when I started collecting again in 2013, it's what was there,
Yeah.
But looking back now, I'm not super nostalgic to it because I don't particularly like the cards in the sets, but I do think black and white had some very, very amazing sets. Very, and I really believe it's going to be super, super sought after in the future. Yeah.
I think they had the first full arts as well, or the first silver card, a full art.
Oh yeah, the Zekrom. Yeah, I think that was in.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was in Next Destiny. No. Dragon's Exalted. No, that's not a dragon.
I think it's in the base set, black and white base.
Black and white base set. Black and white base set. Yeah. Black. Yeah, it could be. You could be right. I'm not too switched on. Like it's been a while since I've opened any black and white.
I know the Legendary Treasures has a Reshiram
That's
gold.
what it's in. It's in Legendary Treasures.
Oh, it could be that too.
Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
gold
black and
full.
white.
I've got
Confuses me.
one.
Oh, nice. In a 10?
No, no, just a raw card
Just raw.
in my binder. Binder collector. Sorry.
Hey, some
Yeah,
people
hey,
have to be.
we're a dying
Yeah.
breed. All right.
It's
Back in
true.
the
It's
day, there
true.
was always just binder collectors. Now there's PSA cards and sealed collectors. But all right,
Yeah, I know. It's funny.
we know how it is. All right. So second last point for me will be an actual product. All right. So I actually got one product here. All right. So
Wow, that's
it's
a surprise.
oh. So this one I've actually seen on Facebook Marketplace, and also like I've had some dealings with this in a little way. And this is wotc theme decks, damaged ones though. The either like the wraps a bit, or it's pushed in a little bit, or they're usually you can find them for like $100 Australian. So it's like half the price of what a really good condition one would be at best. Like a really good condition one at lowest price is like $200. So I see a lot of these like grass chopper, like the base set 2 ones, go for like
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah, they're not worth too much, the base set 2 ones.
They're not. But if you do crack it open anyway, because it's already damaged, and you grade the hollow alone can mostly recuperate that $100. And then there's some of those other commons and uncommons in there that you can grade as well. Obviously, that is a time thing once again.
Very time
the whole
consuming
grading
for a
thing.
little
It
bit of
is,
a return. Yeah.
yeah, for a little return. But if you are just fishing, then I think that's a decent idea. Like those theme decks that I had before, I'm grading the Squirtles, the Water Tools, and the Hollow from that thing, and that already recuperates more than double what I paid for that theme deck originally. Obviously, I got the theme decks all for a really good price, but theme decks didn't really see much. Like a lot of these newer theme decks don't really see much growth at all. But the Wizards of the
I don't
Coast
think
ones, they're on another level. Like
that's true. I know the when we're talking about like modern, I know the Burning Shadows theme deck in Australia is fairly sought after. The one that comes out of those GX challenge boxes, but only because in Australia we didn't get the GX challenge boxes. So for anyone that wants to complete the theme deck exclusive cards, they need to import from America. For example, the Americans watching probably know what this is, but this is from the so that's a Burning Shadows theme deck, right? And that's
the cracked ice on it.
yeah, it's cool, isn't it? So there's 2 different ones. There's the Lycan Rock. Sorry, I forgot the Pokemon name for a second. And then there's the Alolan Ninetales. And I had like a whole bunch of the GX challenge boxes, which I imported from America. I ended up selling all of them except 2. So I kept the pairs, and then I just took out the theme decks of them because I just wanted them. I don't know where the Lycan Rock one is, but anyway, yeah. So we didn't get these exclusively released in Australia. So I know in Australia for completionists that want to complete the sets are wanting the theme deck. So you can get a little bit for these in Australia for anyone wanting to know. Yeah.
Even with those ones, right? I'm pretty sure that's the only way to get cracked ice, the cracked ice hollow cards, because I think
From Burning Shadows.
From Burning Shadows and Evolution.
Yeah, it is.
Because Evolution has that cracked ice Mewtwo, I think.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
I think but that's the only way to get it. You have to get the theme deck for it. And like that's another thing. You can buy the theme deck and grade something like that, because those cracked ice, that's kind of a thing now. Like the whole
people love cracked ice.
Yeah, it's a good
hollow. I'm loving those new cracked ice hollows. Yeah, like I said, the PSA 10 cracked ice Charizard, just a standard Charizard card, but it's cracked ice from Team Up, like $400.
Team Up theme deck. I saw a theme deck, the Team Up one has the Charizard one with cracked ice and a Blastoise one, I'm pretty sure, as well for Team Up.
So that's where they get the team.
That's where you get that cracked ice Charizard. Because I do have those Charizards, but they're not cracked ice because I pulled them from packs. So
right,
the boosters. So I didn't buy the theme deck. I'm not a really theme deck person.
Neither am I.
That's actually a good incentive for people to make those cards in there, or make the hollow a cracked ice. So it's like you have to buy that theme deck if you want the cracked ice version.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a very good idea. But yeah, I know people that have like messaged me asking, "Hey, do you have any of the Burning Shadows theme decks? Like, I need a theme deck like for the cracked ice, cards, and for the cards out of them because they're all I think majority of them are like theme deck exclusive cards. So I've had heaps of people message me, and that's how I got rid of all the GX challenge boxes, because they were never released in America, but they had the theme deck that, in Australia, they never released.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had the theme deck that everyone in Australia wanted to complete their sets. So I think they're the only modern kind of theme decks that are worth money, is the ones exclusive
Yeah.
to like America and stuff like that we can't get here, but that's only in Australia.
Yeah. So it once again, it always really depends where you are in the world as well, and what's available to you. But also that whole research thing, because if you don't really know much about that whole cracked dice stuff, like, then you wouldn't buy that theme deck. Or like, if you knew about those cracked dice Charizards in the team up theme deck, you probably would have bought a lot of those team up theme decks and just graded all those Charizards or something. You know, theme decks go down in price so quickly, like the modern ones. Like they go to like
really
$10. But those cards, like that Charizard alone, is worth paying that $10 and just sending it off to grade. But yeah,
that's a good point with the theme decks.
Yeah,
I think
it is random. It really depends. You got to pick your wotc theme deck.
Especially, I think a really good investment on the topic of the theme decks is the base Shadowless theme deck. So if you can get a guaranteed Shadowless one, because you have the first edition Shadowless Machamp in it, and you also have a Shadowless Charmander, there's a multiple of them, and grading all them is just a lot of money. And I think people are really sleeping on them. I don't think people realize that they can, if they find a fairly guaranteed Shadowless ones, they can rip them open, and you can get, all these Shadowless cards from which you can grade, and they sell for thousands of dollars in a 10.
Those theme decks, though, they cost quite a bit. If you're not...
Yeah, I bought a Shadowless one probably about 3 months ago again for about, I think I paid like $300, and they're up to like $600 or $700 now.
Yeah.
So,
but those cards could be worth, like you said, if you got the holo in a 10, that's granted if you get a 10, because,
Oh, yeah, if you get that Machamp in a 10, first edition Shadowless, it's probably like $2,000, $3,000.
So...
Yeah, it's probably a good investment if you can guarantee that the theme deck Shadowless. I'm not going to get into that now because there's a couple of things you can never 100% guarantee, but there's a couple of things to look for to get more up your chances. But yeah, let's not get into that. But yeah, definitely a good point with the theme decks.
That's my only product.
Which ones particularly?
That's my only product on that one. Yeah, I think, is it your last one now?
Yeah, my last one. So I wanted to do like a cheaper one at the end that a lot of people can invest. I think I did have that cheap one, was the modern Charizards, but I want to do an even like sort of another sort of cheap one. Okay. Yeah. So my last point is basically just PSA 9 unlimited holo wotc cards. Because you can get them for fairly cheap, especially if it's, I don't know, a Poliwrath, but or a Magneton or something. But yeah, I think for example, it's all going up, right? I don't think the unlimited, if you can afford it, like, change the unlimited to first edition, but, if you can afford it, yeah, go to that. But I think everything's going up, and I think you can get a PSA 9 unlimited for fairly cheap in a holo, unless it's a Charizard, or like a Blastoise or Venusaur. But, anything in a PSA 9 holo, I think it's all going up. So if you just want a piece in the market, you don't have to invest too much. If you don't have a lot of funds to invest, just go something small like a PSA 9, even if it is a Poliwrath, even if it is a, I don't know, like a Flareon, anything, like really, really anything, even if it is a Vileplume, like just, if you just want to invest a little bit, you can pick up these cards for very, very cheap, a little bit extra will get you the first editions on a lot of them, not all of them, but yeah. And I think, yeah, that's, if you just want a piece of the market, just go something cheaper. Get a PSA 9 unlimited holo. Have a piece in that market, sit on it for a few years, and I guarantee you're going to make money off it. In a couple of years. Unless the whole market crashes, then you're not going to. But if the market keeps going the way it is, you're definitely going to make money off it in a few years. And it's not a big investment either.
No.
So yeah, that's my last point. Just, you don't always have to go big. That's basically the point of that. You don't always have to go big. Go get yourself a PSA 9 unlimited.
First edition or Shadowless.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't always have to go big, because generally in Pokemon, there's been a couple of small crashes, but generally in Pokemon, things just keep going up. And unless there's just a massive crash for some reason, which I don't see happening because it's more popular than ever, prices are just going to keep going up. So just get yourself, even if it's a little bit, just get yourself a piece of the market, whether it's a PSA 9 unlimited holo or something else that you like that is, you think will potentially have gain. Yeah, that's my biggest advice. You don't have to have this massive outlay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Most collectors don't start with massive outlay. Most
Yeah.
collectors build up to their collections. They don't
Even
just like
I don't
start.
even have it. I don't even have the money.
Yeah, like
Right.
I've built this up over the last 6 months. Like I remember I only had I think I had like one booster box and a Dragon Majesty Elite Trainer box in my whole collection for like weeks. And then I built up to it, buying and selling, and I built up to it. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Don't know how long this video has gone for, but my last point
It's
is,
always long videos with us.
sorry guys, sorry about that.
Don't be sorry.
My last one
We're
is
getting so much content for free.
all right. It is for free. You
It is
can
free.
subscribe, and then that's like a payment in a way.
Yeah, that's like you paying for it. Subscribe. Yeah. Like, subscribe, smash that like button. It's your boys back at it again, y'all.
Oh, cringe. That's cringy. All right. My last one is actually protection. And I don't mean
so what, you don't want to have a child, or
I've got one child. No, but like from the basics, like just sleeves, that's like, basic common sense. Sleeves to protect your cards if you're going to grade them, especially top loaders and all that. But also if you're building up to something huge, just continuously grow with that protection. Like, so I've seen so many people have display cases, or just like Leonhardt, when he opens up, he brings out his Skyridge boxes, he's always disclaiming that these don't stay here, they go to a locked facility, they've got insurance.
You need to protect your collection.
At the end of the day, yeah, like a lot of these things can grow really expensive, and if you lose it, damage it, or whatever like that, you want to be protected in the as much as you can. Or if you're investing in the long term, you want to make sure that something doesn't happen to the product that you're holding. Like, if you're holding boxes, you want them in cases, so then if it drops, it's not going to break the box or devalue whatever you have. So
exactly, and these cases are cheap, guys. Like, you can pick up cases like this for so cheap. It's only only a couple, like they're only like $5 on eBay.
Yeah,
you can pick up these cases for very cheap.
You don't need those hard acrylic ones and stuff, but they do.
No, they're expensive. They're rip-offs. Don't get them.
Oh, but I love the look of them.
I mean, unless you have like a base set box, or like boxes that are like vintage. Like, don't waste money on putting your new boxes into them. Just get those plastic sleeved.
But I like those other ones.
They are cool, but they're overpriced. They are really, really awesome, and I'd love to have a lot of them. They're so overpriced for a couple of pieces of acrylic and some magnet. They're really overpriced.
But I really like it.
Yeah, me too, but I'm not getting any because they're overpriced. I'm stingy, all right?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
If I had a base set booster box, 100%, that's going in acrylic.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Unless it's something like that.
Yeah, unless it's something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I didn't really give much products, but a lot of the stuff I think you should do. I don't know. I will do it myself, but yeah. And Jesse's obviously raised a lot of good ones that fly under the radar a lot of the time, because everyone's talking about base set, and everyone's talking right now. There's a whole base set thing going on.
I think my last point mentioned wotc. Yeah, it was literally only my last point. Like, I think wotc at the moment is not the best investment. Okay. I think a lot of people are putting their money into it because it in the long term, it holds value, and they're not sure about the modern, but I don't think at the moment wotc is the best investment. I think, older modern, should I say, black and white, hard gold, also diamond, pearl, platinum, even early XY, they're all the best investments right now.
We're looking for undervalued kind of products.
Yes. And wotc is definitely not undervalued anymore. So yeah, I think if you just want your money in a safe haven and your money's going to incrementally increase, I think wotc is the best bet. But if you just want to take that shot in the dark, everything I mentioned is just stabs in the dark. You probably won't lose money. You could, but you probably won't, and the chances of going up is very high.
At the end of the day, we already know that all of this is an unknown. Like, we don't know. Even with wotc,
it's all unknown.
Technically, we don't know if that's really going to stay like how it is. But you're putting actually less risk with a black and white booster box or something like that. You're spending $2K as opposed to $100,000 for a booster box from wotc or something like that. You know, like, yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think it outweighs. Like, if you have a couple grand that you just want to drop into a product, go something more modern. You know what? I mean, number one, you're not going to get anything that cheap in wotc anymore in a box. You know, sealed box wise. And number two, no one really wants to drop 20K. I mean, crazy collectors out there do, but you know, if you're looking at an investment video,
Everyday
you
collector.
don't really have 20K to drop on a box if you're looking at investment videos. But you might, you know. But I think black and white will definitely be a better return on investment than wotc at the moment. Could be completely wrong, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that is all for today.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks, Jesse, for coming back on.
No worries. That was fun. That was good.
Plenty more videos to come with Jesse and stuff.
For sure. Definitely.
Yeah. See you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah. See you guys next time. Catch ya.